Coach, why don't you just tell us your thoughts after a huge win? You had to win and you did.
Yeah, no, couldn't be more proud of this football team. And you know, I thought we played okay in the first half. I thought we struggled to get some things going offensively. And they were doing some things that we were struggling with. I thought Coach Cronk offensive staff did a phenomenal job at halftime, settling our guys down, and we came out, we were able to run the ball and possess the ball. It's exactly what I felt like we needed to do at halftime. Give our defense a little bit of a break, but I thought that was, you know, complimentary football at its finest in the second half. And I thought we played lights out on defense. I think, I don't know how many games consecutive, Sir Ross. I think Memphis 50 plus games of 20 points or more consecutive, and for us to hold them to 17, and I don't know what the yards were, but it wasn't a whole lot. Thought Coach Volk, defense staff, did a phenomenal job. I think our guys are kind of coming into their own on defense right now, the way they played the last 2 weeks against really good football teams, and so just really proud of the fight and the way our guys compete and the way that they're playing a fearless style of football right now, and just couldn't be more proud of our team and the result today. So really excited.
So you only had 46 rushing yards in the first half. In this first possession of the second half, it was quite obvious that you were determined to run the ball. I think you ran the ball like 17 of 18 plays on that drive. Now, the drive ended in disappointing fashion with a fumble, but you kind of set a tone. Yeah,
we did. I think they were doing some things up front. They were moving the front a decent amount. We were having trouble handling that a little bit, and I thought we got settled down in the second half and ran some zone dive, ran some belly, and were able to get those things going. And thought we blocked better up front in the second half. But I thought Drew called a really good game, really smart game in the second half. And like I said, complimentary football at its finest, and we were able to. I think we had 2 3-and-outs there, and so they sat on the sideline for a long time. And for an offense, that's tough to get out of rhythm and get over there and get cold, and we're able to do that. So,
what can you say about Alex? He had 101 rushing yards, and they were the hard yards. They were in between the tackles.
Yeah, super proud of him, and they were. You're right. They were the hard yards, and he fought for every inch, and so were the other guys. But just really proud of the effort, especially in the second half. And we didn't play poorly in the first half. We did struggle a little bit offensively. I thought defensively we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Some untimely penalties there. Hit us on a couple of quarterback draws, but outside of that, I thought we played really well against a really good offense.
Can you talk about the second half? They had 4 possessions. They had the ball for less than 6 minutes by my count. I think they totaled less than 60 yards in the second half. Basically couldn't do anything offensively.
53 in the second half.
What can you say about this? What did you all do?
Well, I thought our kids played their tails off. You know, they played their tails off, and our play at corner has gotten a lot better in the last few weeks. I thought Coach Volk called a really. They did, and Coach Volk called a really good game. I thought he kept them off balance. I thought he kept the quarterback a little confused, and we continued to pressure him. Got a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He's a hard one to sack.
5 sacks.
We had 5 sacks. Probably should have had 3 or 4 more. But I thought we played really well on defense, as good as we played in a long time.
So can you talk about, you've done all that you can.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed your tie for first place in the conference, but that may not get you in the championship. You have to. You need North Texas or Tulane to lead.
Yeah, I mean it's we need some things to happen, and you know, the likelihood of those things happening are probably not great. But we'll watch some football this weekend and see how it goes. But you know, we've done everything we can up to this point. Can't get the North Texas game back. Obviously, we'd love to have a chance to play those guys again. So we'll see what happens this weekend, and then we'll turn our attention where it needs to be turned.
But no matter how it pans out, 9-2 overall record, 7-1 in the conference, pretty doggone good.
Yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. We're not finished yet, right? So, no, like I said, I'm really proud of this football team, proud of our staff. Love the fight, love the way these guys play for each other. This is a connected team. It's a close football team, and you see that in the way that they play.
Can you talk about you have a Army game and a bowl game, and you could be 10 wins in 2 straight seasons for the first time in program history. I mean, that's a lot of history, a couple hundred years.
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of that. And we got great kids in this program. They work their tails off. They do everything we ask them to do. They do it on a consistent basis at a high level. I think there's a really high standard in our program right now. I think we've got great leadership, and I think that's the result of those things.
Two for me, Coach. One, I asked you pregame. You got a chance to join some elite company in Navy history. Fourth coach ever with multiple 9-win seasons. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, well, no, it's, I don't think about that a whole lot, to be honest with you. What I'm worried about is us being the best version of ourselves, and I think our guys do that on a consistent basis, and I think obviously it pays off. But really proud of our program, and we want to be one of the top group of 5 teams in the country. And to do that, you got to beat teams like Memphis, and you got to beat teams like South Florida, and I think that puts us up there in that company. So I'm proud of what we've done.
And you leaned on Malcolm and Jake a lot in the run game on that right side of that line. Just how impressed were you with the way they stepped up?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. Like I said, the adjustments we made at halftime were good, and we came out and ran the ball right at them. And yeah, I've got to watch the film to actually see all that. It's kind of hard to see during the course of the game, but obviously we did some good things up front, to get those guys those yards that they got, and they were tough yards to get, and that's a good defense we played against too. So that's a good football team. Hats off to Memphis and Coach Silverfield. I think he's an outstanding coach, and that's been a great program for a long time. And to come to Memphis, get a win on the road over that group is a big time win for us.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you guys.
By the way,
Can you talk about the second half defense? They had the ball 4 possessions. They had the ball for less than 6 minutes total, and they had 53 yards. You pitched a shutout.
Yeah, no doubt. I think Coach Volker, credit to Coach Volker. He, called a great game. We made the adjustments we needed to make in the halftime. We came out ready to go. So he called a great game, and I'm glad we were able to execute the defense. And then the offense, obviously, they had the ball for the majority of the second half, which is awesome. So just credit to them as well.
So that team had scored 20 points or more in 58 straight games. You just put an end to that streak. How proud are you of the performance?
So proud of the defense. Just being able to have that statistic broken, that's awesome. It's a big goal for any defense to have on any given day. So super proud of our guys, and super glad we were able to get it done.
Luke, you had 2 of 5 sacks. I think it's the most sacks Navy's had since 23. But can you talk about the defensive performance and getting into the backfield to kind of harass? You also had a lot of quarterback hurries. You harassed that quarterback and put him under pressure.
I mean, you got to give credit to the back end. Whenever he's got to sit in the pocket for a longer amount of time, it really helps us be able to get to the quarterback. And so I thought our DBs played great today. And you can see what we can do on the front end, the front 7, whenever we do have time to get to the quarterback. So.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, they took some deep shots and were not able to connect for the most part.
Yep.
Your corners were, and then the safeties as well, were in good coverage.
Yeah, I feel like we're starting to get things to click, and we're starting to peak at the right time, what Coach Newberry said. So, I mean, it's just fun to play with all of these guys whenever we're all playing good ball.
So, Landon, I mean, you've done all you can. You put it out there. You're 9-2 overall. You're 7-1 in the American. You guaranteed a tie for first place, but a tie for first place may not get you in the championship game.
Right.
Can you just talk about this situation?
Yeah, no doubt. We can control what we can control, right? And just being able to go out here and get this win against Memphis is what we can control. And I'm just super proud of the team. And what happens, happens. So we're just gonna, keep working, keep grinding, and looking forward to the future. So.
It takes a while.
Yeah, he's signing autographs.
The amount of rushing yards you all had in the first half equaled your jersey number.
Yeah,
Mr.
46.
Rossmeyer said if there's another second half performance like that, we're not going to win. You had to come out and, geez whiz. You had to come out and establish the run, and that's what you did on the very first drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, I wish I brought my neck brace, honestly, for that second half. I know, we kind of knew Coach Cronic came in and really just put like 4 plays on the board and said, these are the plays we're going to run, and obviously those worked. But just old-fashioned Navy football, right? And that's something we practice, right? Obviously, we get away from that some games, right, with downfield passes, getting on the edge. But we practice that a lot during the week because it's hard to stop. That's kind of our fundamentals. That's our roots. So it was good to see that work and help us win this game. So
can you talk about controlling possession? I think you held the ball. They only had the ball for less than 6 minutes. So whatever that equals out to.
24.
34.
yeah,
24.
Right, 24.
yeah.
Dominated possession in the second half. Can you talk
No,
about
I think that's huge, and it's really, I think, super beneficial for the defense too, right? Just to kind of get your breather. But again, I think that's just Navy football, right? I think Blake probably can attest to this too. you kind of look at the defense and they're just drained, right? Those guys don't want to play anymore, right? We're driving in the red zone. It's, play 15 and those guys just tap out. And I think that's something we've practiced, right? But whether it's spring ball, fall camp, we're conditioned for that. And just draining down teams and wearing them out is something that I'd say we've gotten pretty good at. It helps us a lot. It definitely gives us an edge.
So Blake, that was a classic Navy drive to start the third quarter, but it ended in disappointment with a fumble, and you don't get in the end zone. Can you talk about what the defense did for you on the very subsequent possession where they pitch a 3-and-out? Not only that, they drove Memphis backwards from the 6-yard line to the 1-yard line. They have to punt out of their own end zone. You get the ball back at their 44 for short field. Can you talk about what the defense did for you there?
I mean, for the first time, in a while, we gave them some time off. We've had so many explosion plays recently, right? We score quickly, and so, I think they're getting antsy. Landon can probably tell you, but they wanted to get out there on the field, and so they played great, and they've been playing great, especially recently with USF and then this game, and so, you probably heard it 90 times. Complimentary football, but they really did. And I think they were aggressive in that situation and took advantage of the field position and then helped us out on the next drive. Just the Alex Tecza drive.
So can you talk about the oddity? You had 4 fumbles, but they only recovered 1. You all recovered 3 of your own fumbles, which is crucial because if they recovered all 4 of those, things might have gone differently.
Absolutely. It's a game of inches. It's a game of bounces. It's a game of, you'd rather be lucky than skilled at some points. Yeah, someone's got to get a picture of that. Someone's got to get a picture of that. It probably looks like a jump ball in a basketball game. But
I think I dribbled the ball too, actually, on the turf.
So all the basketball stuff there. But, we've had a lot of games this season where those bounces don't go our way. And so finally, I guess a little bit of luck, was in our favor, just how football bounces. But we got to be better in that aspect.
So coming in here, all you could do was win. You did what you could do, but you don't control what else could happen here. And you tied for first place in the conference, but does not mean you're in the conference championship. Can you talk about that situation?
I've said all year, right? We were focused on ourselves and what we do each week. And if the sum of our efforts can result in, a conference championship berth or a playoff berth or whatever it is, right? You can't get a conference championship won in week 3 or week 10, but you can lose it in week 3 or week 10, right? If you don't win those games that you need to win. So it's just about control what we can control. Obviously, we're going to be big Charlotte and Temple fans this weekend. It's just who we are. Want to compete in all aspects. But at the end of the day, the most important one is December 13th, and so we'll be getting ready for that one no matter what. So it's coming.
Alex, can you talk about the offensive line? You mentioned that Coach Connick said we're going to run these 4 plays. Most of it was between the tackles, belly, and the line got the job done.
Yeah, super proud of those guys. Jake Polito obviously stepping up for Hoke, and he's come a long way, right? Just the progress he's made, and I think he's got a lot of confidence behind him now. And then Malcolm, obviously, a freshman, and he's going to be a stud. I mean, just look at the size of him. He's just been really good for us. But all 5 of those guys, and obviously we've rotated some people in, and really just everyone who's contributed up there has done a phenomenal job. And I know Coach Guillermo, really gets into them sometimes, and it's all love, but I really think they come out on Saturdays and produce from us, and it's good to see. It really is. Trust those guys. I know Blake does too. So, really good up front.
I think, coming into the year, right, we were like, who's going to play offensive line?
Right.
And now we've got too many. We probably have 8 guys that can play at any given moment, and so I think it's a compliment to Ben Purvis and Hoke, especially 2 big leaders on that line, and then obviously Coach Guillermo and what he can do in just the overall scheme. But they've really stepped up this season and done a lot of really great things. So just can't say
Anything
no.
else for the offense?
Yeah, just one from me. Blake, what's Alex Tecza mean to Navy football?
What does Alex Tecza mean to Navy football? You can't make me say nice things about him, can you? No, I mean
Nothing like Navy.
I mean, we knew he was special from the first spring ball I think he ever took part in. There were guys ahead of him that had reps already and were coming back. And so, sometimes when people see that, there might be a little writing on the wall for yourself. He's like, it's going to be tough. I'm probably not going to get any. And he blew everybody away. And from that moment, he's catapulted himself to just one of the foundation of who we are as a team, right? There have been times I think last season where if we weren't all healthy, or if I wasn't able to do certain things last year because of my health, I would freak out. Like this year, I just lean back on him, right, and what he can do for us, and just giving him way more opportunities. I feel like I was a little selfish last year, and so he's one of the best running backs probably in Navy football history. So
appreciate that.